Hey, what is up everyone? Kilryan here bringing you another video, and this one is going to be overviewing basically how to actually go about making your Visionmaker 1 gear and transforming that into Nightforge. Nightforge, for those of you who don't know about the game, it is pretty much the best armor in the game. It is the late game armor. It's been out for a little bit since the Wonderhome patch, but a lot of people have been asking me, how do I actually make this, awesome armor, awesome gear, right? So, basically, it does require you to have 410 crafting. So, to get your crafting maxed up, go to Alimentia, go to Velica, and then go to this, the blue exclamation mark here, like in Strategic Command or in, Strategic Command in any of the major cities, and power over your crafting. That's a whole nother thing. But anyway, so you have to have 410 crafting. What comes next is actually making the weapon or the armor piece that you need, because to make Nightforge gear you have to have Visionmaker gear, which is a component of, to craft it. Keep in mind, Visionmaker gear does require you to actually have the recipe. The recipe can be obtained through Zenith boxes, through just drops out of COF, out of MC normal mode, out of basically any of the last bosses in some of the top end content. You have a chance to get a design for the Visionmaker. And mind you, it's not going to be your class specific. Alright, so basically here we go. The hard part is honestly going to be making your Visionmaker 1. This is the Visionmaker 1 axe. As you can see, this was the best gear before Wonderhome came out. And here are all these materials. All these materials that people are wondering, like, what the fuck do I do? How do I get these, right? Alright, first I'll start off with the Master Weapon Kit. That's easy. Go to a vendor. It'll cost you like 250 gold or something like that. Just go to a armor smithing or weapon smithing vendor at all the crafting areas in the cities. Just buy 1,800 of those. That's easy. Calyx Sparks. Calyx Sparks are actually a very rare ingredient from Gathering. You can get these, I believe, at any level of Gathering, so even level 1 all the way up to level, 300, maxing out your Gathering, there's a small chance to get a Calyx Spark, and this can be gotten out of mining nodes, out of plants, out of essence gathering. So all of that's easy to, it's pretty much just a rare chance, and for the most part, you want to probably buy it off the broker. Costing, currently, the price has been rising, roughly around 2,000 gold. That is a very pink Baraka. Alright. Next up is the Argon Vitriol. The Argon Vitriol is an old material that drops off of Argon BAMs. Typically like the Naga or the spaceships, which I'll post a link to a video here where you can try to go farm them, but I personally recommend just trying to buy them. They run probably around 3 to 5k on servers now, so the price has been rising because they did recently make Nightforge a little bit easier to make, and I'll address that here in a little bit. Alright, next up is the Victor's Trophy. Victor's Trophies are just standard Belcarium credits. For those of you who don't know what Belcarium is, it is the Battlegrounds, Corsair Stronghold, and Freywind. You need 3,000 credits for each trophy. So this one, as you see, it takes 2 of those, and it'll make, so that's 6,000 Belcarium credits. Next up is what a lot of people probably see in global chat of people selling quill runs. You can actually, I'll post a video here of us 3-manning and selling a quill. Quills are from Mania's Core hard mode, the very last boss. Not too long ago they upped the drop rate to 100% off of her, but this is still the hardest content in the game, and so a lot of players don't go through the process to really learn the fight and do it anymore, so most people buy them. Most quills go for roughly from 12 to 15,000 gold a piece on a server now. With the 100% drop rate, that's not that bad though. So essentially, if you have around 45k, you'll have enough quills for your weapon. Keep in mind, the weapon is the most expensive piece, so you can kind of reduce it a little bit for if you're looking just to craft the chest, just the boots, gloves. I wouldn't recommend ever making boots, though. Keep that in mind. Alright. Next up is the Seismic Oil. They've done actually a good job recently with this patch, basically showing purchase material where you find it. This is from the Invalesco, or the Pathfinder Post dailies. They recently reduced the cost, I believe, down to 425 credits, which is like 2 days, I think? Maybe even 1 day. No, about 2 days on reputation boost for the Invalesco. That's pretty easy to get. It takes 2 of those, so it'll take 4 days. You know, not that hard to do. And then lastly is the Chaos Block. Chaos Blocks are from, as it says, Agnitor. Agnitor is the Nexus reputation. As long as you're doing Nexus, each Chaos Block costs 5,000 credits. So just do your Nexus, and on one of the Nexus or the Agnitor vendors, you should be able to see and find this Chaos Block. So that is just how you craft solely the Visionmaker 1 gear. All the Visionmaker 1 gear uses that same degree of all the same stuff, pretty much. You're always going to need Calyx Sparks, you're always going to need Vitriols, you're always going to need a Victor Trophy, you're always going to need Chaos Block, you're always going to need Seismic Oil, and lastly, you're always going to need Chandra's Quill. Alright, now, moving on, I'm not going to address the weapon, or the chest and boots and gloves, because, like I said, they all use the same stuff. And then, next up, you want to craft your Nightforge, which is the best gear in this game currently. Though there is Nightforge PvP and Nightforge PVE. For the most part, you typically take the same approach to make the PvP as well as the PvE by making the Visionmaker 1. So the Visionmaker 1 is pretty staple. Like, you're gonna need that. Alright. So, here is the Nightforge PVE weapon, which is the best axe in the game, which is actually what I use. Alright, so, first of all, how do you actually go about getting the recipe to craft Nightforge PVE? That is actually from Vision Documents. Vision Documents drop out of Wonderhome Normal Mode, Wonderhome Hard Mode, as well as Mania's Core Normal Mode and Hard Mode. So typically you want to buy this off the broker as well. I think they're actually pretty cheap because not that many people need get them, because once you get that Vision document, you use it, it gives you a quest, and then you go turn in that quest in Habir, which is in Lorcada, Habir, and then if you go over here at the entrance of the Legendary Blacksmith's Workshop, you basically go turn in the quest with that Vision document that drops off of the boss. Alright. Here we go. So, once you do that, you will then have this repeatable quest to obtain metal overlays. Metal overlays are, it takes 2 clears of either the 3-man, which is Channelworks, the 5-man, Shattered Fleet, or 7-man, Kezel's Gorge, to obtain one of these, I think it's called a broken weapon. I actually should have the quest somewhere in here. Zone quest, yes, go for the broken weapon, drops out of the 3, 5, 7-mans, and it takes 2 of them to get 1 metal overlay. You can stack this quest almost as many times as you want. As you can see, I have 25 broken weapons in my inventory, or not in my inventory, but in the quest completion, and yeah, so it just takes you a little bit of time. If you're non-elite, that's going to take you 15 days, so 2 weeks actually, unless you use an instance reset scroll. So it takes 15 metal overlays for the weapon. Pretty much just, it's kind of like a time barrier, you know, so to where you can't like instantly get it, right? Next up, for those of you who have probably cleared Wonderhome Hard Mode, because you are going to need to clear Wonderhome Hard Mode for this, since most groups don't actually sell Bandersnatch cubes, are the Bandersnatch cubes. Dropping solely out of Wonderhome Hard Mode off of any of the bosses, not the mini bosses, but the bosses, being Crazy Clown, the Terralith in the cage, and Bandersnatch. The drop rate, you know, is pretty, I'd say probably about 30% chance per boss, maybe 20%. So it does take a little bit of time and a little bit of luck, especially if you're running with a pug where you have to outroll everybody. But that takes 5 of those cubes, so best of luck gathering all of those, and yeah, that just takes a little bit of time. Hopefully you have some good luck. And then next up is pretty much what the sole thing that actually makes people not make Nightforge PVE gear, which is the Mark of Bloodshed. Mark of Bloodsheds are strictly out of Zenith boxes. which drop out of 357. And recently they buffed the drop rate, but it's still an extremely rare item. I think the average is like 1 out of 80 boxes even now. And that's where it becomes this money game, or gold game for a lot of players. So if I look on the broker right now on Ascension Valley, Mark of Bloodsheds are running well, someone is screwing with the market actually. 50,000 gold, 50,000 gold, 40,000 gold apiece. Okay. Or no, 80,000 gold apiece. Yeah, someone is definitely screwing with the market. That should not be that price, but typically with the increased drop rate now, they should be roughly 20 to 25,000 gold apiece. So, looking back actually at that, if I can actually open the correct thing, looking back at the Barbarax, it takes five painful Mark of Bloodsheds. So, running at even the 25,000 price, that's still going to cost you 125,000 gold. That is not including the price that it cost you alone to make your Acuity's Axe, or, you know, whatever your Visionmaker One Piece is, to craft the PVE Nightforge weapon. So, for the most part, Nightforge and whatnot is not a necessity by any means. If you are a hardcore PvPer, it is recommended that you actually get the PvP Nightforge gear, which that would pretty much be a whole nother video. Or even a little bit of PvE weapon or chest for PvP work. But it's pretty much like a gold thing. Like, you need a lot of gold. So, for the most part, if you're a casual player, I do not recommend going for Nightforge gear, especially within the semi-near future. I'm estimating 4 to 5 months. The new patch is going to be coming out, which is going to completely wipe out all of this gear. But yeah, and just stick with your Wonderholm gear, or hell, even your Steadfast gear. But probably Wonderholm hard mode gear should hold you all perfectly fine for all content. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you found this informational, I would like you to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and leave a comment down below as to what you want to see next time. Tell me what was your luck, basically, like with Mark of Bloodsheds. Did you open 15 Zenith boxes and get 5 Mark of Bloodsheds ready for your weapon? Or, yeah, things and stuff. You can also find me, I randomly stream on twitch.tv/Kilryan. Hope to see you there, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Catch y'all next time.